All right, what's up, everyone? My name is Cole, and today we're doing a lyric discussion on all the songs from Wet Leg, their debut album. This is a live stream, so we're going to wait a few minutes for chat, but I'm going to put chapters down below so you can skip straight to whatever song you're interested in. So this is like a short intro section where I'm waiting for a couple of people to show up and chat because this is an interactive thing. Chat will possibly sometimes tell me what they think of a certain verse, and we'll talk about it. These are just my interpretations. I'm going to read the lyrics, and I'm going to just share what they make me think of. This isn't canon. This isn't what they actually are about, according to the songwriter. So just keep that in mind. This is just a fun thing to do. If you like the record, it's just a fun extra, a fun bonus. So this is not a video about did Cole like this album or not. This is just a discussion of the lyrics. So whether or not you like the album, maybe you want to know what it's about lyrically. So that's what this is. So we're going to give it 4 minutes. It's 8 o'clock. We'll start at 8:05. Again, I'll put chapters down after the video is done, so you can skip straight to whatever song you want to hear about. But yeah, so check it out. Until 8:05, I want to show you guys in the background here. I just picked this up, came in the mail today. This is hard to get. This is the debut album by The Sound from 1980 or something called Jeopardy. And I thought it'd just be fun to put it up there. Maybe it'd be fun to put up a random album up there whenever I do this kind of thing. I don't own this Wet Leg record, so otherwise it would go up there. But anyways, yeah, so let me just double check that I am live on YouTube, as always, just to make sure. Okay, we are. Very good. And let's see, we're going to give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll dive straight into the lyrics of this album, Wet Leg by Wet Leg. There's 12 tracks, and I was looking at the songs sort of earlier, and the lyrics aren't super long in these songs. Some of the albums I've done for these lyric discussions, the song lyrics are really long, so they take a long time. Or they're really dense, they're really poetic, and it's hard to figure them out. So who knows? This might be a 3-hour long stream. It might be a 1.5 hour long stream. Who knows? But yeah, we're going to give it a couple minutes. We're going to start at 8:05. It's 8:03 right now. So again, just if you're watching this later, just skip straight to the first track in the chapters below. Once this is done, I'm going to work on those chapters for whoever's watching this years later or whenever you're watching it. Right now, I'm just waiting for some people to show up. This is an interactive discussion. Sometimes people don't say anything, but every now and then someone's like, oh, this made me think of that. And then we talk about it. Jack says, what's up, Jack? Jack says, a lyric discussion for this album should be as absurd as the lyrics themselves. So again, this is not, I'm not going to say, did I like the album or not in this video. That's not what the point of the video is. Although I can ask you guys, did you like the album? Just out of curiosity, did you listen to it and did you like it? Or do you want to not comment? Do you want to plead the fifth? Glad to see you in here, Jack. I know you joined my Discord, but haven't seen you chatting there yet. Discord has been pretty busy lately, which is cool. We've got 30 seconds, and then I'm just going to dive straight into track number 1 of this album. And we're going to see what it's all about. It could be very deep, could be very bland lyrics. Who knows? All right, 5 seconds, and then we're off to the races. All right, so let us start talking about this Wet Leg record. I'm going to update my visuals here on my streaming software. Move my camera a bit. Hello, Leanne. Welcome back. So, this is going to be track number 1 by Wet Leg from their album Wet Leg, which is called, track 1 is called Being in Love. So let me get that going on the screen here. Get everything all set up, and then we can chat about it. Feel free to share in chat what you think these lyrics mean. Leanne says, sorry. Jack says, I like the album. It gave me Courtney Barnett vibes. I love Courtney Barnett. Okay. Jack enjoyed it. So anyways, this is track 1, Being in Love, verse 1. I need to lie down. I only just got up. I feel so uninspired. I feel like giving up. I feel like someone has punched me in the guts. But I kind of like it because it feels like being in love. Ooh. That's relatively simple. Need to lie down. Only just got up. I kind of like it because it feels like being in love. Why does that feel like being in love? I guess because when you're in love, you go through this roller coaster of emotions where, some days maybe you're even questioning your relationship, right? Maybe you've been with a guy or a girl for years now, and you're wondering, maybe you're in your 30s now and you're wondering, like, is this guy ever going to propose to me? Right? Like, I need to have kids before I turn 40, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, I was definitely that guy, by the way, in my last relationship. I was not ready to marry her. So, from her perspective, it was like a roller coaster of emotions because, she loved me, of course, but at the same time, like, biology and reality strikes, and I'm sure she was getting a lot of flack from friends and family, like, why don't you just leave this guy? He's like, he hasn't proposed to you yet. You've been together for, 6 years now. Like, it's never going to happen. It's probably what she was dealing with. So, like, she feels uninspired. She feels like giving up, right? She's an artist, obviously, singer-songwriter, musician. And, I'm not an artist, but I definitely understand how frustrating it must be to some days have the muse with you where you're really creative and you have a lot of energy and your brain is firing on all cylinders, and you're just getting a lot of stuff done. But then some days you wake up and you just have no energy. You just want to go to sleep all day. And you can look at that as like a complete waste of your day because, you only have so many days in your life. And if you're trying to be creative, especially if you're on a deadline, like maybe you're signed to a label and they want your album out by a certain deadline, like you're under this pressure to perform here and do a good job. But in any kind of creative activity, you can't necessarily force somebody to have inspiration or force somebody to put out good work, right? Sometimes it just comes and goes. So that's kind of another way of looking at these lyrics. It's like, and I understand that too. I mean, for instance, I've been doing streams now every night for a week now. That's my new goal for the year, is stream every night. And I got to tell you, yesterday I felt really down. I had very little energy. I drank like 7 cups of coffee, hoping and praying to have energy. And I was like, man, I want to play my album for the album listening stream. I mean, I was looking forward to it, but I kind of I was like sluggish and it was hard to think. And I wasn't feeling so great. So, and also I'm bipolar, by the way. So, which I think Kanye West is bipolar. And I can definitely say that when you're bipolar and you're going through certain phases, your creativity is amazing. Like your brain is working at 200%. It's really easy to be creative. It's really easy to get a lot of work done. You have tremendous energy. And in my case, for most of my life, I wasn't necessarily doing anything with that energy. I was just very energetic, and I was, I was ready to go, but I wasn't working on anything, right? Like I wasn't really doing anything with that seemed like it mattered or that was lasting. Like it's one thing to be like this woman, she's an artist, she's a musician, and to have that energy, because you can channel that energy into songwriting and, something like that's in my own life. It's very frustrating, I'll admit it, to be bipolar and to go through those phases where I have a lot of creative energy, because I have no outlet to, put that energy towards, other than right now. Obviously I have this YouTube channel, but before, most of my life, I didn't have that outlet. So that's just my perspective on all of that, is like, at least she has an outlet for her days when she's really inspired, right? Sometimes, for a lot of people, their lives are just 9 to 5s at work, and then they go home and they feed the kids or whatever. They hang out with their kids and their family, and then they go to bed, and then they repeat, right? So their creative energy is used up, or is not being used up at all. Let's take a moment to look at chat. I haven't been reading chat. Sorry about that. What's up, Andrew? Andrew says, I like this album. What dream sticks out as my favorite? So my favorite was track 2, if I had to pick one. That one is the most memorable to me. Andrew says, I've been on antidepressants for 22 years. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm bipolar, so I go from extreme highs to extreme lows, or I used to anyway, before I took medication. But yeah, I'm just reading this verse here, these lyrics here, and it's just reminding me of my own life journey, and how I definitely had these. Basically, every year I go through a cycle where I'm really depressed in like the winter, and then in the summer I usually feel really good, very confident, very creative, but I'm not an artist, so I don't really do anything with that. So I'm just saying, at least in this woman's life, she feels uninspired sometimes, and she's under pressure, like I said, from her label and from her bandmates to perform or to write songs or whatever it is. That's what this kind of makes me think of personally. Jack says, I think she's suggesting that being in love brings intense highs and lows. Yeah, exactly. She feels terrible, but at least she feels something intensely. That's a good way of putting it too. Well, that's what love does to you, right? Is it allows you to feel certain emotions very intensely sometimes, right? If you never fall in love, it's very rare that you get those super highs and those super lows, right? I mean, the problem with falling in love, of course, is sure, you've got those amazing highs, especially at the beginning, right? But then we've all been there, I'm sure, where you have this horrible breakup and now you're at these awful lows, these intense lows, and the world seems like it's over. Your whole world's over. So, she's probably talking about love there, but I also think she's talking about being an artist, who's trying to be creative and inspired, but some days she wakes up and just nothing's going on, and it kind of feels like a wasted day, right? Especially, like I said, if you have a deadline. If you're like, this album is coming out, this day, a year from now. So anyways, that's what it makes me think of. Let's keep going though. Verse 2, I lost my appetite. I cannot sleep at night. I cannot concentrate. I do not feel too great. The world is caving in, and I'm kind of struggling, but I kind of like it because it feels like being in love. Oh, man. She likes it? Why would you like it, though? I can only identify with that in the sense of, like, I have this weird fascination sometimes with feeling extremely down. Now, that sounds really weird, but it's true. Sometimes when I'm really down, I kind of get off on the idea of like that intense emotional reaction to having a terrible day, where I don't know, like it kind of puts my life in perspective, right? Because at least in my case, call me crazy, guys. Feel free to call me crazy, but life to me is all about perspective, and it's hard to constantly keep in mind how lucky you have it or how good you have it, or the good things going on in your life. So like for me, when I'm experiencing these really down days, it actually helps me to appreciate when I don't feel like that. It's kind of like when you're sick, right? When you're really sick, all you can think about is, man, I can't wait till I'm not sick. But never once does anybody think when they're not sick, oh, I'm so happy I'm not sick today. Like, right? Nobody wakes up every day thinking, oh, I'm so happy I'm not sick today. So like for me, what I'm trying to say is when I'm really depressed, it gives me a lot of perspective when I really sit down and think about it on like how good my life actually is. Like if I really sit down and think about it. Does any of that make sense? Lance says, Cole, do you think bipolar swings amplifies your music highs? It does affect, it has affected how I feel about some of the music I like. So for example, what I mean by that is I have these albums that I like / love, and there's like a range of how much do I love it, or how much do I like it. And depending on my bipolar swings, sometimes I can over like something, or like something is kind of like, let's say I think of something as like a 6 out of 10, like, I like it, but I don't love it type album. But if I'm in that kind of emotional high mood, that bipolar mood, my perception of it gets kind of skewed. And all of a sudden, I don't just like it, I love it. Right? I like it way more than I should if I'm not in that mood. Does that make any sense? But anyways, let's keep going here. Verse 3. I think this is the last one. Yeah. All right, verse 3. I tried to meditate, but I just medicate. Pour me another drink. Don't want to have to think. I think I lost my shit, some kind of fucked up trip. But I kind of like it because it feels like being in love. I know, right? That's kind of the two reactions most people have. There's like the people who've got their stuff together, who just meditate, and they're always talking about how amazing meditation is for clearing your mind and whatever, right? But it's so much easier. Meditation to me sounds so boring. I can't, like, just the thought of sitting and meditating sounds like the worst idea ever to me. So, I don't do the opposite like she's saying and start drinking or taking drugs or whatever. But, that's what a lot of people do. And a lot of creative people, right? This is very true and infamous in the rock scene of the 60s and 70s, right? I'm sure a lot of those people took drugs as a way to try to channel their muse back into their creative process, right? It's very frustrating as an artist, I must imagine, to have like a day or several days where you're getting so much work done and things are just coming to you, and then it goes away and you're like, what the heck happened? I didn't change anything. Right? You just wake up one day, nothing's going on here, and you're just lost, right? And you don't know when it's coming back, if it ever comes back, right? That's a thought. Maybe my muse is gone forever, right? There's no guarantee. There's no law of the universe saying, oh yeah, next Thursday it's coming back. Don't worry about it. You're going to have a week of suffering and no inspiration, but yeah, next Thursday, don't worry about it. It's coming back. You're going to write a bunch of cool new songs again. Don't even think about it. Let's read chat for a second. Jack says, that makes perfect sense, Cole. Every time I get really sick, I feel the same way. Angie says, that's me down to a T. But T spelled T-E-A. So now I want tea. Darn it, Andrew. I forgot my ritual. If you're watching this and you've never seen my channel, I have a daily ritual. I stream every day at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's a little plug. But just very briefly, my daily ritual. The best sound in the world. You're talking about tea, so now I'm thinking of soda, and I got reminded. So anyway, that's what this makes me think of personally, is she's talking about drinking. She's not meditating, she's drinking. I mean, I know it's not exactly what she's talking about, which doesn't necessarily matter. It's just what this makes me think of is, I remember reading about all these artists in the 60s and 70s taking all these drugs. I'm assuming to help them get inspiration, right? Sort of like how Wall Street people in the 80s were doing cocaine to like constantly have energy, I guess, for whatever they had to do. So like, I just know how frustrating it can be. I said this earlier, being bipolar and going through the swings, the ups and downs. It's so frustrating to, like, my experience really, I didn't have the creative output of being an artist, but for me, the experience mostly was I had these long periods where I had a lot of confidence, like insane amount of confidence. I could like be anybody's friend. I could network like crazy. It was so easy. I was constantly telling jokes. Everyone loved my jokes, right? And then I would crash down for the next 4 months. And it was the complete opposite for me. I couldn't think of any jokes. Had no confidence, right? I didn't want to go out in public. So that's what this makes me think of, is she's an artist struggling to find her muse again. That's one way of thinking about it, of course. The other way of thinking about it, as we discussed, is she's talking about how being in love allows you to feel the intense highs and the intense lows. And only really being in love allows you to do that. Or at least having a very close relationship allows you to do that, right? If you don't ever have relationships, you'll never be at risk of those terrible downs, but you also never experience those amazing ups. But anyways, let's read chat. Leanne says, LSD has helped me enjoy music more than I would have. Leanne, especially acid house, trance, 4 on the floor stuff. I mean, I've heard stories about raves in particular, in like ecstasy or whatever. Andrew says, I've had a lot of problems with prescription drugs. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But anyways, so that's track 1. So 1 second. All right, track 2 is Chaise Longue. I already forgot how to say it. Come on, website. Don't do this to me. All right, this website has like a million ads, and it's It's a total pain in the butt. Anyways, all right, Chaise Longue, verse 1. Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. Yeah, I think it's fairly clear she's talking about not a diploma. Well, she could be doing both at the same time, but I think she's talking about the big D as in like she's a young woman. Maybe she's even been homeschooled or like is a Catholic girl, and she's in college now. And like everybody in college, at least my experience was, you're young, you're finally of age. Everybody's partying, everybody's drinking, right? You live in dorms. You're constantly near girls your age, and everybody's hormones are going crazy. So like the big D to me is she's finally, becoming not a virgin anymore. Which I'll admit, when I was 18 years old in college, just like all I could think about was like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by super cute girls. They're just everywhere. They're in my dorm, they're in my class, and it's just like that was my number one priority. It was like trying to get into parties and like having the courage to ask some cute girl out. So I think that's what she's trying to talk about so far. But anyways, verse 2 says, "Is your muffin buttered? Would you like us to assign someone to butter your muffin?" Excuse me, what? Hey, you over there on the chaise longue. What is the chaise longue, by the way? On the chaise longue, in your underwear. What are you doing sitting down? You should be horizontal. Oh my God. Yeah, this song is clearly pretty simple. It's all about sex. It's all about being 18 years old in college, and you're supposed to be there to learn and get a degree and get a good job and make money and find a husband or wife and get a family and all that jazz. But yeah, most people that age in college are only concerned about getting their muffin buttered. Anyways, let's check out chat for a second. Andrew says, the 80s was the cocaine decade. Thank God I was just a kid at the time. Oh my God. Jack says, not many people find songwriting inspiration in the middle. He says, it makes me think of a Townes Van Zandt song, "To live is to fly, days up and down they come, like rain on a conga drum, forget most, remember some, but don't turn none away." Ooh. What's up, Jay from Mexico? He's in the house. So yeah, this song is pretty simple. It's just like a joke, right? It's just, I understand where she's coming from because I was totally there when I was a freshman. Yeah, I tried to do well in my classes, but I was mostly concerned with like abusing the fact that I'm surrounded by cute girls my age. and we're all legal now. That was my big D. That makes sense. That part makes sense if you're a girl. That was my big P, I guess. Anyways, let's keep going here. 1 second. Let's get the visuals ready to go. All right, verse 3. Is your mother worried? Would you like us to assign someone to worry your mother? Excuse me? What? Hey, you in the front row. Are you coming backstage after the show? Because I've got a chaise longue in my dressing room and a pack of warm beer that we can consume. Oh my goodness. Now I'm just imagining my high school days. I knew these kids in my high school who were, in bands, primarily because it was so easy to meet girls in a band. Isn't that just the classic? The classic move is to learn guitar and start some crappy band just because all the girls are going crazy for you, right? All the girls in the front row, and you're like, hey, you want to come backstage and like chill out with us? And they're like, oh my God, of course I do. And I like she's talking about, is your mother worried? Because, her mom was obviously her age at one point in time. So I'm sure her mom knows exactly what's probably going on here. She's not dumb. She's not oblivious. Jack says, big P. Is there an echo in here? But anyways, yeah, I mean, her parents were obviously her age at one point in time. So, I'm assuming they're not oblivious to what's really going on here. Right? They know what's probably happening. No one's talking about it unless she finds a boyfriend and, talks to her parents about getting a boyfriend. Then it's fairly obvious what they're doing together, the boyfriend, girlfriend. I can't wait till I'm a dad of a college freshman and having to worry about, is my daughter going to just go completely off the rails and just start sleeping with everybody? And maybe she gets pregnant and then I have to be like a grandfather at, I guess I'll be in my 50s. Now I'm going to have to like take care of my daughter's kid because they're horny in college and they're going to shows and sleeping with singers and bands. Just reading chat. Leanne says, Cole, you can have any woman you want. I cannot wait to see your cute little gingerhead kids. I know. What would they look like and what would they be into? Would they be into music as much as I am or no? But anyways. So yeah, that's part of the song. It's just making me dread my future of being a future dad of a college kid who, you just know, like you don't have confirmation yet probably, but you just know they're up to no good. They're probably drinking, sleeping around. Maybe they're doing drugs. It's all there if they feel like doing it, right? It's probably fairly easy. If that's your goal is to like drink and do drugs and sleep around in college, it's probably fairly easy to make that happen, right? If that's like what's on your mind. So as a parent, I would be secretly freaking out about all the worst case scenarios. But anyways, that's what this song makes me think of. Give me 1 second. All right, let's move on. Track 3 is Angelica. All right, first one. Angelica was on her way to the party. She doesn't need to wait for anybody. Nuh-uh. Knows exactly what she's doing. I know what I'm doing. I watch as she commands the room. Ooh. Okay, I love this just because I don't know if there's a male equivalent. There must be, right? But she's talking about a woman who I'm assuming is so aware of her attractability that she can just do anything she wants practically, right? She could probably get away with a lot. But just being someone like that who is so self-aware of how everyone perceives them and can therefore abuse it if they feel like it. That must be a very seductive realization to have. I mean, that's probably an equivalent just for certain men, right? Maybe you're a guy who's well groomed, and you go to the gym and you're very buff or whatever, and you got a 6-pack, right? And you're kind of handsome. I'm sure a man like that in college is probably getting all the ladies to swoon over him, right? That must be true. But I always think of it the other way, right? Some super hot girl who has an amazing looking body, super cute, super beautiful. She's very flirty, right? She knows all the right buttons to push. Which I'm the complete opposite, as I mentioned. Like, I have no confidence in myself. I have no idea how people perceive me, really. Like, when I start interacting with other people, I have no idea what they think of me, really. I'm not good at that. I just kind of assume, I hope they assume that at the very least, oh, here's a nice, gentlemanly guy who appears to have his head out on his shoulders, right? I don't know. Maybe people think of me as some super handsome guy and can get any girl I want. I don't know. But here's Angelica in the song heading to the party. She knows exactly what she's doing. She commands the room. You know, it's hard to not be jealous of somebody like that. Frankly, I'm pretty jealous of people who it's really easy for them to be desired, right? Not even just as like a sexual thing, but you know, I remember guys in college who were just very popular guys. People just wanted to hang out with them and party with them, right? I mean, I was never that guy. Like, nobody went out of their way to hang out with Cole. It's kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. And yet I would see all these guys who, for whatever reason, were just very charismatic, I guess, and were fun to hang out with, I suppose. And a lot of them knew it, right? A lot of them understood their appeal, I guess. Anyways, let's read chat for a second. Lance says, my kid is totally into music. She puts music on all the time and sings all the time. Oh. Andrew says, don't leave it to late to have children. I have, and I deeply regret it. You've got time on your side. Not too much time. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That's my Coke Zero. Jack says, I wonder if Angelica is actually the singer when she is buzzed or just on a high. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice, Jack. I like that twist. So Angelica is who she is. The person talking about Angelica is the same person as Angelica, but Angelica is what she's like when she's buzzed or high. I like that. So she feels like the only way that she can be the popular life of the party is when she's on something, right? Jack says Angelica could be an alter ego. I mean, that's what I was talking about with my bipolar highs, where I have so much confidence. It's like I'm a completely different person, basically. That's what it feels like. I'm just a totally different person. So maybe Angelica is this girl's alter ego. Maybe she's bipolar. I don't know. But it's probably more that Angelica is her when she's like drugged up or, you know, on cocaine or something, or buzzed up from alcohol. Which is like when you realize that you are very popular, like your behavior changes when you're under the influence and you become very popular because you don't have any inhibitions or whatever it is. You know, it might be very tempting to always take drugs or do alcohol or drink alcohol now, right? Because if you know the result of doing that is now you're the life of the party, you're the cool girl, it might be really hard to not want to do that all the time. And then, you know, then you'll get addicted probably. And then your life will go down the drain. Who knows? Anyways, let's keep going. My back is itching. My poor back. Okay, one second. Okay, verse 2. The ambience was overrated at the party. I want to run away before it's even started. I look at my feet, then I look for the door. Oh my God. Can't find my friends, so I just take a bit more. Oh boy. So she said the ambience was overrated at the party. I want to run away before it's even started. I'm kind of getting a sense from this verse that she took drugs or was drinking to become this Angelica alter ego, but now she's not having a great time at this party, right? She did all these things so she could show up to a party to hopefully have a great time, but this party kind of sucks. So, but now she's drunk or she's really high and she can't come down, right? She's stuck being drunk for however long that takes to get out of your system. Same with being high. So, I guess her solution is to take more and hope it solves her problem, maybe. So that sounds like a terrible idea, but maybe that's what she's thinking is, well, I'm already halfway there. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. I mean, it kind of sounds like she is unable to be happy unless she's under the influence. Like, it sounds like she's solving emotional problems with substance abuse, which is like the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. Right? You got to be able to function normally without being under the influence. You got to be able to handle situations like, without having to take anything. Otherwise, if your solution to everything, if your solution to dealing with everything is to drink or to take drugs, then that's just like a recipe for disaster. What's up, Martin, aka That Is Entertainment? How you doing, man? So yeah, that's what this makes me think of is, she knows that when she's drunk or high, she becomes this cool girl, Angelica. And it's kind of intoxicating to be someone like her who's very confident, very sexy, and everyone wants to be around her. But now she's at this party, and it's not that much fun. But she's already drunk or high or both, and she can't come down from it, right? She can't just like leave and be fine. She has to like get through it. And I guess her stupid solution is to keep taking more to fix her current problem. It's just like a horrible idea. That's kind of what it makes me think of. I can't really relate. I don't take drugs, so anyway, pre-chorus and chorus. And then it all comes to an end. We all go again. Go again. Good times all the time. Good times all the time. Okay, I actually like that quite a bit because that implies to me that she's chasing a constant high, right? Good times all the time. So she's addicted to trying to make every night or weekend or whatever amazing. And it sounds like the only way she can do that is to become Angelica, her alter ego, through drinking or drugs or both. And she's kind of addicted to everything has to always be amazing, or else like I can't just like be alone with my thoughts, right? I can't just be alone on a Saturday night and read a book, right? She has to be social. She has to be the life of the party. She has to constantly do that kind of stuff. It's like addicting. So she's a social butterfly, I guess. That's what it sounds like. Andrew says cocaine, it sounds like to me. Probably. Okay, verse 3. Angelica, she brought lasagna to the party. I tried my luck at dancing with everybody. Sometimes life gets hard to deal. I like you. You've got sex appeal. Angelica brought lasagna to the party. That's kind of random. Jack says, I have to wonder why she can't find her friends. That's a good question. Maybe they're all sleeping with guys in bedrooms? I mean, possibly. I don't know. But anyways, Angelica brought lasagna. It's kind of strange. She tried dancing with everybody. Maybe her problem is she wants everyone to like her, and this is her problem. Like, she can't function unless everybody likes her. And it feels like the only way to get everybody to like her is if she's on some substance and becomes this Angelica. Does that make any sense? Like, she's addicted to being popular, I guess is another way of saying it. And so she's just like, she loves the attention, even though the attention is probably not very deep. It's probably very surface level. So, I mean, I guess on one hand, I understand the possible intoxication of being loved by everybody. And then she's dancing with everybody, as she puts it, which is another element to that of like, she wants everyone to love her, but she also wants to find a boyfriend probably who also really loves her. She's trying to like win at everything here, but maybe it's all backfiring. It sounds like it's going to backfire. She's probably going to become like a cocaine addict. Anyways, let's check out this is a long song. Wow. Let's check out the next pre-chorus. I don't want to follow you on the Instagram. I don't want to listen to your band. I don't know why I haven't left yet. I don't want none of this. Good times all the time. Martin says, I agree. She craves attention. He says, women that age do. Yeah. Hold on a second. I mean, it sounds like she's craving this superficial popularity, which it's hard at that age to identify what's really going on here, which is that people are only interested in her probably because she's really pretty and because, you know, when she's drunk, she's like very sociable or whatever. Like, maybe no one actually likes her as a person, like when she's normal. So they're liking her for like the wrong reasons, maybe. But she doesn't know that yet. She's not like mature enough to understand that yet. What do you guys think of that? Right, because like I go to the hookah shop near me, and there's certain people that go there all the time who are very popular. You know, they happen to be very handsome or pretty or whatever, and they work out. They happen to do those things, and they don't necessarily want to be a close friend to me. And you know, sometimes I wonder, you know, like, why are they so popular? And one answer to that question is they love to drink. So they're constantly going out drinking, clubbing. So is it because people like them, or is it because people like the fact that they're always drinking and clubbing? Right? It's like being bar buddies. Like, oh, people love this guy because he's always at the bar chatting with everybody. But like outside of the bar buddy is not anybody's friend, maybe. Excuse me. So like, in other words, what I'm saying with this woman is that maybe she doesn't understand that people aren't necessarily liking her on a deep level. They're just liking what she puts on, like the show she puts on at these parties. And she's kind of too young to understand what's really going on here. You know? That's what it makes me think of. But anyways, let's move on. Okay, verse 4. Angelica, she brought her ray gun to the party. Angelica obliterated everybody. I look at my hands, then I look for the door. I can't help but feel like I've been here before. I don't know what I'm even doing here. I was told that there would be free beer. I don't want to follow you on the gram. I don't want to listen to your band. It kind of sounds like everyone else is doing the same thing. Everybody else is not really being a real person. They're being like party people. Like they're not having any deep connections. It's just like, hey, follow me on Insta, bruh. Or, hey, you're cute. Follow me, follow my band on Bandcamp, or I don't know what it is, what the kids are doing these days. It just sounds like everybody is being very superficial, including her. But it's also very intoxicating to be a pretty woman who seems to be very popular because you're pretty and when you're drunk, you're very sociable. But like nobody actually likes who these people really are, like outside of a party. This is just like a party buddy vibe going on here. What's up, Joe Flo? I always love that name. How you doing, man? It says, starting a new job, only got a minute. Well, good luck with your new job. Jack says, I think she's an introvert who needs to get high to be sociable. That makes sense, too. But when she gets attention, she quickly realizes it isn't what she really wants. Yeah, I love that, too. That's a great point, Jack, because I'm introverted, right? And the only way I can get the attention she's getting is when I'm on my bipolar upswing, right? I don't drink or do drugs, so I'm not tempted to do that. So yeah, maybe she's very introverted and she needs to get high to be sociable. And I guess maybe she's jealous of all these people who don't need to get high. Maybe these people don't need to get high or drunk to be sociable and popular, but she does. Because they're extroverted and she's introverted. So therefore, she's trying to be someone who she's not, right? She's looking at these other people. She's introverted, they're extroverted, and she's maybe jealous that they can be this way naturally, but she has to like get high to do it. And she's realizing after doing this for a while, for a few weekends at the college, that maybe this isn't what I want to do. Like, maybe this isn't who I really am. And, that's what happens in college is you experiment and you kind of discover yourself. Jack says, she's conflicted. Very much so. Leanne says, I bet you'll get girls and messages after Insta Lives, but maybe not the type of girls you'd like. Oh, boy. So that's the end of that song. Oh boy. Let's keep going. What are you doing to me? I don't want to go out. Okay. Okay, track 4. Well, hold on. Jack says, well, she seems to be fantasizing about obliterating the whole party. What do you mean by obliterating the whole party? I don't know. It just sounds like the only way she can be popular is to be high on something, which changes her personality. And then she realizes that she doesn't even like these people probably. She doesn't want to she doesn't want to join their gram or follow them on gram. She doesn't want to follow their band. She doesn't even like these people. It's kind of what it sounds like. But anyways, so this is track 4, I Don't Want to Get Out, or I Don't Want to Go Out, rather. It's the first one. I don't want to go out. It's been getting me down. Get me down, get me down. I have to find a way out of the plans that I made in the past. All too fast. Force quit. That's it. Control Alt Delete. I can totally get this. So I'm the kind of guy that likes to make plans in advance. Like, hey, next Thursday, you want to get dinner somewhere. But at the same time, every time I wake up, I have no idea how I'm going to feel that day. So, like, it sounds like she's kind of similar where, uh, she she feels under pressure to not disappoint her friends, right? Because think about it. If you're constantly canceling plans, then eventually these people are just not going to invite you out at all. So she's having this crisis moment mentally, probably, where she's in college making new friends and promising people, yeah, let's get dinner or watch a movie Saturday at 7. And then Saturday comes a week later and she's just so has no social energy at all. But she's already made plans with this new friend, and she's probably thinking, well, if I cancel, then who knows if they're going to invite me out again? Like, I've got this one chance at it, maybe, or maybe a couple chances before they just give up on me. I honestly sort of do that to people but that's only if like they make plans with me, and then, like, oh, let's go hiking at 1 o'clock Saturday. And I'm like, okay. And then I show up at 1 and they're like 45 minutes late, and they show up and they don't really address how late they were. And then we go on the hike, but I'm like annoyed the whole time. And then afterwards, my perception of this person is like, this person is out to lunch. So that's kind of one sort of related example. But like, I'm just saying, I have a fear personally of letting new potential friends down, because it's kind of like you've got one shot at it. Because the hiking guy I was talking about, he in my head, he had one shot at it, of like, he invited me out, he planned it all, and then he was late and didn't address it. So like, from my perspective, that was my one chance I gave him to like prove to me that he cares about this friendship. So maybe she's thinking that, thinking in a similar way here, of like, she's freaking out because she woke up Saturday and doesn't really want to do anything. She's feeling terrible, but she already made plans, and maybe this is some new friend and she doesn't want to let him down because she's afraid the new friend will not give her a second chance. So that's what it makes me think of. But anyways, let's go to the chorus after my Coke. All right, the chorus. It used to be so fun. Now everything just feels dumb. Oh, what's up, Punk Media? I wish I could care, and now I'm almost 28. Jeez. Still getting off my stupid face. A fucking nightmare. I know I should care. Right now I don't care. It used to be fun. Now everything just feels dumb. I mean, this is reminding me of the last song where she was partying. She's in college and she's partying all the time and taking drugs and stuff, becoming this Angelica alter ego that we talked about. But she's probably, she's 28 now, she says. She probably realizes, as I was alluding to, she's more mature now, I guess, and she's realizing how superficial all this is. Like, she's not really having any deep relationship with anybody. She's just drinking with these people. It's just party buddies. And I guess she wants more than to just be party buddies with people. She wants like an actual friendship, or boyfriend even, right? I mean, that's what I realized, right? Where like, I realized where like, there was a time in my life where I would freak out about people not inviting me to parties, and what does that mean? But I would go to some of these parties I was invited to, and I kind of realized that the parties might be fun, but like I wasn't really forming any deep relationships with any of these people, and they didn't really care about doing it for me either. Like it was kind of mutual. It's just kind of like we're all just like playing beer pong or whatever, and it's fun, but like there's not anything deep going on here. And maybe she's getting older and she would rather just have one best friend who's awesome than a bunch of like superficial party friends. That's what it makes me think of. Let's keep going here. Oh boy. Okay, one second. All right, verse 2. It all used to be fun. Now you're swinging a gun. Round your head, seeing red. Can you please repeat what you just said? Or leave a message at the beep, because I do not have time to try to understand why you do what you like. But it never really turns out right. At least we're all going to die. Jeez, what the heck? I need a second with this verse. It all used to be fun. Now you're swinging a gun around your head, seeing red. Okay, well, what this makes me think of is sort of similar. She's going to these parties, making these superficial friends who she doesn't really know. She doesn't actually know these people. They're just people at the party having fun, but she doesn't really know these people. But this verse is kind of talking about at least one of the people. Like she's taking a serious look at one of these party friends she has, and she realizes this guy is a total nut job. Right? It sounds like he's some extremist even, maybe. Right? Because she says, now you're swinging a gun around your head, seeing red. She says, I don't have time to try to understand why you do what you like. I mean, that to me, I don't know if you guys agree, that to me sounds like she's taken a step back and is actually looking at who these people are that she's partying with, and they're like kind of crazy people. They're kind of like extremist people, right? If you separate them from the party environment and you take a look at their daily behavior and life, like the people she's hanging out with are kind of nuts. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been wasting all of my time hanging out with, at the very least, hanging out with people she wants nothing to do with, politically or religiously or what, or all of the above. That's what this makes me think of. Let's go to the chorus. Oh wait, the chorus. Sorry, we already did the chorus. Let's go to the bridge after my Coke. All right, the bridge. Oh yeah, I heard that you started a band. Oh yeah, I heard that you moved to LA. Oh yeah, are you gonna stay young forever? You said, yeah, and I just walk away. So it sounds like she's way more mature than everyone she was partying with, where she's growing up and she has figured out way faster than these guys that you can't just spend your whole life not taking things seriously and not like studying and getting a degree and working hard and like doing mature adult responsible type things. That the people she's hanging out with are kind of deadbeats, possibly. I mean, being in a band isn't being a deadbeat per se, but I'm kind of thinking that like these people are kind of like deadbeats. They're not really going anywhere with their lives, right? They're kind of living day to day. They don't really have any plans. They're just kind of winging it. Jack says, nihilist, nailed it. That's what it makes me think of. Is like she used to realize the people she's been hanging out with are just kind of like deadbeats who aren't going anywhere with their lives. And does she really want to know these people that badly? Doesn't sound like it. Maybe that's also why she doesn't want to hang out with them, right? Earlier in the song, she's like, I woke up today and I realized I wish I could just cancel my plans for today. Well, maybe she wants to cancel her plans because she realizes she kind of hates these people. Anyways, that's the end of that song, apparently. Ooh. This poor girl is struggling. All right. Jack says, those people have no vision if she stays there. Yeah, if she stays with these guys and gals, she's not going to go anywhere with her life. This is kind of what it seems like. All right. Track 5, Wet Dream. Chorus. Beam me up. Count me in. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Here we go. Okay, never mind. That wasn't anything interesting. Verse 1. I was in your wet dream, driving in my car. I saw you at the side of the road. There's no one else around. You're touching yourself. Oh boy. I was in your wet dream, driving in my car. Saw you at the side of the road. All right, there's not much to say about that. Let's go to the pre-chorus. You said, baby, do you want to come home with me? I got Buffalo 66 on DVD. This one's a little not very interesting so far. I know that movie. I own it on Vudu. I have to watch the whole thing, though. I've only seen like a third of it. Buffalo 66. 1 second. Sorry, my Coke. I remember it being a pretty interesting movie from the 30 minutes I saw. I just haven't been in the mood to finish it. So anyways, this guy's like a hipster, I guess. It's kind of a hipster movie. Like, oh yeah, I know Buffalo 66. I'm a film nerd. All right, well, let's see if this song is interesting. It's kind of not very interesting yet, in my opinion. Not much to say about it, frankly. Just a wet dream. Okay, verse 2. I was in your wet dream, driving in my car. What makes you think you're good enough to think about me when you're touching yourself? You climb onto the bonnet and you're licking the windscreen. I've never seen anything so obscene. It's enough to make a girl blush. What makes you think you're good enough to think about me? Okay, well, this is hard. This is a harder song to think about. However, this is obviously from a girl's perspective. She's talking about some guy having her as a wet dream. And I'll admit this is something I think about, where I have never once considered that any girl I've ever come across has later thought about me in like a sexual masturbation way, right? Where they're like having a wet dream about me. But I must imagine for a lot of women, especially if they know how pretty they are, that I don't know if it's a turn on, maybe it's the turn on, or maybe it's really weird to kind of know on some level that like the guys you meet are probably like touching themselves, thinking of you at night in their bed or whatever, in the shower, right? Maybe she's thinking about all this of like guys, she's imagining guys like, you know, jerking to her, thinking of her, and I guess in a weird way, she's also thinking that she doesn't deserve it. Like she's not pretty enough, and like she doesn't understand why any guy would do that. Like I'm not that pretty, am I? Maybe she's having these conflicting thoughts of like she's having a moment where she's realizing there's probably a lot of guys fantasizing about her, but also she's thinking like, yeah, but I'm not that pretty. Like, and maybe that thought of like, oh, I'm not that pretty, but it makes me blush that you would do that. Maybe it's a weird turn on. Leanne says, Cole, it's only gross if you're not attracted back. And it also depends on how much attention you get at the time too. Well, that's another thought is, it must be very weird to if I'm a guy that likes a girl and the girl isn't really into me, maybe the girl thinks sometimes that I'm fantasizing about her, clearly, because I have a crush on her. Maybe I told her. And so maybe she's having this weird moment where she's thinking about all the guys who've asked her out that she's not interested in, and she's having this moment where she's realizing that all of them have fantasized about her, probably. Right? Maybe she's just having this weird moment like that. What's up, Brad? How you doing, man? So anyways, that's what this song makes me think of. There's not much going on here. 1 second. All right, this is track 6. Oh, come on, website. Track 6, verse 1. Gone with the wind, taken by a heathen, like an April fool, was in 2007. Sun goes down every night. No goodbyes. I'm not surprised. I'm left with a lady in ruins. Jeez. Punk says defining attraction is quite abstract. It comes down to micro fetishes. I mean, it's so random. Like, isn't it weird? I always think it's weird how someone could be so in love with someone else, but the person they're in love with feels nothing romantically for that person. It's just such a weird reality we all have to deal with sometimes. But anyways, with this song, it kind of sounds like she's just having meaningless sex with people, right? Because she says, no goodbyes, I'm not surprised, I'm left with a lady in ruins. So maybe she's going through a crisis where she likes the attention of guys, and sure, the guys will give her attention and sleep with her, but they don't really have any interest in being her boyfriend. So they sleep together and then he leaves and he doesn't really have any emotional, like he doesn't leave with any emotion there. He just kind of leaves. And she's left there like, yeah, sure, this cute guy slept with her and it felt intimate in the moment, but like afterwards she was realizing like, man, I feel worse now. Like this guy doesn't want to be my boyfriend. Like he's just using me. And, the worst case scenario maybe is now I'm pregnant and I'm pregnant with this guy's baby and this guy wants nothing to do with me. He's just like, maybe he just thought I was an easy lay. So, I'm sure this is what a lot of women have to think about is, do I want to sleep with a guy who might accidentally get me pregnant and then they're the dad for my entire life from now on now? Sounds like a total nightmare. Anyways, the chorus is, uh-oh, convincing, uh-oh, yourself, this is fine. Oh no, it's not working for you, darling. So maybe she's, like I was saying, maybe she's doing a friends with benefits thing. And she thought at first that she could do it and not like be affected by it. But now she's realizing after a few times that it's just like, it's emotionally crippling her to like be friends with benefits with these people who, they're not going to be her husband. They're not going to be her boyfriend. And she's, I guess, realizing, do I really want to just be sleeping with a bunch of people and that's it? She's realizing that that's not her personality. That's some people's personality. That's not my personality, by the way. If I'm going to sleep with somebody, I want the idea on the table that we might be dating one day. I don't like just sleeping with random people. Like one night stands or whatever. I just don't like it. I kind of feel like her afterwards. I feel terrible. She feels like a lady in ruins. I feel like a gentleman in ruins. What's up, Groovy Lisa? How you doing this Friday? Lisa says she couldn't get into this band. She tried. Brad says, I've been talking to your mate, Leanne. He's still confused. All right. Well, anyways, let's move on. Let's get my Coke. All right, verse 2. They're outside of my house right now, and I want to go outside, not see your name or his fucking face. Do you think the other girls would mind? I took a swim too in the nighttime on the beach, wet feet, bioluminescent plankton shit. All right, I have to think about this one. They're outside of my house right now, and I want to go outside. Well, okay. I'm looking at this as another reaction to like a sleeping with someone that you don't want to date, right? The opposite, or another possibility is that the guy becomes super attached to the girl after sleeping with her, right? It started off as like, oh, we're just having this one night stand fling or whatever, no big deal. But now, like, the second verse maybe is addressing it from a guy's perspective. If the guy realizes, oh, now I'm in love with this girl, right? But the girl doesn't like him back in that way. So now maybe the guy is a stalker now, and he's like outside her house, creeping her out. It's kind of what it makes me think of. Maybe that's not what she's talking about, but that's what it makes me think of is, right? That's another danger of being a woman sleeping around, is that your lay, as it were, is now in love with you, but you don't really like them that way, and they're now being really creepy, stalking you and doing all these creepy things. So that's a nightmare right there. That's another reason why I don't want to sleep with someone that I'm not interested in, who also isn't interested in me, right? We need to both be interested. Excuse me, one second. Because then, you might end up in this situation where one of the two people is like really into the other person after they slept together, but the feeling isn't mutual, and now it's all super weird. And who knows what might happen after that. All right, that's pretty much the end of the song. Yeah. Fair enough. Which one was that? All right, this is track 7, Loving You. All right, first one. We had it all. We had it all. We had it all planned out. You said that I was everything you ever wanted. There's no doubt. I used to want to love you like you wanted me to. Now I want to hate you like I tell you I do. Sorry if I seem a little bit upset when you say she looks a little bit like me when we first met. Oh boy. Let me think about this. You said that was everything you were. Used to want to love you. So are they broken up now, but like they're still friends? Is that what's going on here? So now we're dealing with that weird dynamic of, they were ex-lovers, but they decided to break up mutually, but we'll still be friends, right? There's that situation where it hasn't happened to me, but, where you've been dating a girl for a long time, and then you break up, but you both agree to still be friends and like hang out together still. And then but this is weird. Like, why would he tell her? I mean, I guess maybe it could happen. Why would he tell her that he's met some girl that reminds him of her? Like, that's screwed up. let's read chat for a second. Jack says, Gone with the Wind is saying that she gave into passion. Yeah, exactly. He says, maybe she's having buyer's remorse. She sounds like an independent person who values their freedom and autonomy. Exactly. Well, let's think about that because, when you are in a relationship, you kind of give up a lot of freedom, right? It's hard to resist the passion in the moment of like, you're both cute, sexy, into each other, doing it is very fun usually. And maybe you're not thinking about the consequences of, you sleep with someone and then they end up really wanting to be with you, but you're not that interested. Or just like maybe she's falling in love with this guy, let's say even, and she's kind of afraid because she's enjoying her single life, right? When you start a relationship like that, you kind of have to give up your single lifestyle, right? Maybe you have to start talking about moving in together, and now you want pets, you want cats and dogs, and you got to take care of that. You got to take care of those. So like, maybe she even decided to have a fling with some guy, some one night stand, and now she's in love with this guy. She also hates it because she loves it and hates it. She loves it because obviously love can be the best feeling ever, but also she is realizing that, like, once you're in love with somebody, especially after you've slept together, it's like, that's all you can think about, right? And maybe she values her, she values her independence, and she's kind of like having this moment. But anyway, so on this song, it kind of sounds to me like, yeah, like their exes still being friends together, but one of the exes is like talking about their new girlfriend, and she's realizing she can't handle it. Maybe she can't handle the fact that her ex, who's just her friend now, is like speaking about some new girl he met, and it's like making her feel a lot worse than she thought it would. That's what it sounds like. All right, the chorus says, I don't want to have to be friends. I don't want to have to pretend. I don't want to meet your girlfriend. I hope you choke on your girlfriend. So this implies that he broke up with her, and she still loves this guy, but instead of just like ripping the Band-Aid off and just not being friends at all, she's maybe too young to just rip off that Band-Aid, and she's like, okay, we'll be friends. And like in the back of her mind, maybe she's thinking that, oh, he'll change his mind in a year and they'll get back together. Like maybe she's living off some false hope that he's gonna return to her eventually. And in the meantime, she has to deal with him dating all these other girls, making her jealous. So she's realizing at the very least she can't handle just being friends with an ex, which is fair. I don't know if I could. Anyways, verse 2. Don't call me up. You fucked it up. I'm not your friend. I'm not your pal. You're fucking wishing that I was, though. Every time you see me out, you say you think about me in the midnight hour. I know that you're just rubbing one out in the shower. Honey, sorry if I seem a little bit upset. Why you try calling me crazy? Because I'm not DTF down to, you know what. Oh boy. You know what this sounds like to me? It kind of sounds like he's moved on, but he also kind of knows that she still likes him. And maybe he's trying to like manipulate the situation so that he gets easy lays with her. Right? Because like she wants him back, but he's not interested in that. But at the same time, like I guess he's one of those guys who's like abusing the fact that he knows she still likes him. And so like he can get a nice little booty call now and then because she's going to interpret that as like, oh, he wants me back. Or whatever desperate. This is kind of like a desperate move on her part, right? Of like, oh, maybe if we just sleep together again, he'll like realize how much he misses me. That's kind of what it makes me think of is he's just abusing her feelings for him to get a booty call. And maybe she's starting to wise up to it. Let's see. Let's check out the last thing, the bridge. I don't want to have to someone. Oh, I think they forgot a word. I don't want to have to be someone you want to marry. Fucking hell yeah. That's life of. Did they script the lyrics here? I don't want to have to be the one to say I'm sorry. Because I'm not. That's fucking faking it. Am I scaring you? What's a girl to do? She's talking about I don't want to have to be someone you want to marry. I don't know how else to think about that. I guess maybe she's saying that she's so desperate. She's so into this guy that she's willing, like, oh, you don't have to like marry me. We can just like be together and live together and we don't have to like marry each other. You know, people do that. You know, there are people who just live together, like Bill Maher, I think is an example of someone who just has had a girlfriend forever. I think I'm thinking of the right person. I mean, that's a thing, right? Like you never get married or no, Ricky Gervais, the comedian, has had a girlfriend forever, but he's never marrying her apparently. So maybe she's in desperation saying like we don't have to marry each other. We can just live together. Like don't make it so intense like that. Leanne says, Cole, false hope is the worst. I'm fighting it myself. Meh. She says, this lyrics video is really, really well done. Well, I appreciate that you like it so far. It's going to depend on the lyrics of the day. It's going to depend on, I don't know, how I feel during the day. Sometimes the Farron lyrics are really hard to figure out, frankly. That took a lot of energy out of me. But these aren't super hard to figure out. All right, let's look at the chorus. The last chorus. I don't want to have to stay friends. I don't want to have to pretend. I don't want to meet your girlfriend. Hope you're choking on your girlfriend. And she calls 999. They cut the line on you. Is that a British thing? 999? Anyways, that's the end of that song. That wasn't anything new. Come on, website. All right, track 8, Your Mom. Oh, Your Mom. So these are British people, I guess. Okay, verse 1 of track 8, Your Mom. When I think about what you've become, I feel sorry for your mom. You say we're all having fun. Do you know you're the only one? And when the lights go down on this fucking town, I know it's time to go. And when the radio plays and the static stays, yeah, I know it's time to go. Oh boy. Brad says 999 is emergency services. Okay, that makes sense. That was my assumption. You say we're all having fun. Do you know you're the only one? I mean, I guess it sounds like she realizes this guy is probably a total deadbeat, and then also um has like no interest in being serious with any girl really, like enough to marry them and have a family. He's just kind of like one of those guys. Maybe he's a very artsy guy in a band, and he's just kind of aloof, and he's like he's his maturity level is probably not there. He's just like taking day he's taking his life one day at a time. He's not really thinking about the future much, including his girlfriends, in regards to his girlfriends. And so maybe he also, in addition, doesn't really care about how this impacts his girlfriends. He's just like trying to have a good time, right? He sees a cute girl, gets her in a relationship with them so he can like sleep with them all the time, but has no real plans to like marry them ever. And um and so, he's just not taking life very seriously, I guess. And so all these women who date this guy are just like feel like they're wasting their whole time with them. Like the whole time, maybe it's been years they've been with this guy, and they've realized like they've wasted 3 years with this guy who's never gonna do anything. That's what this makes me think of. I don't know if that's what it's actually about, but anywho, pre-chorus says, "I get up to go now. I give up on you now." Okay, so maybe she was giving this guy like a million chances to prove that he's not a deadbeat, that he's going to do something with his life and eventually marry her and have kids and stuff. But I mean, she's probably in love with this guy, right? She's probably super in love with this guy and has a lot of hopium, as they say. And she's slowly realizing, oh, wait, this is just like a total waste of my time. And it's pissing her off, man. Chorus says, "I don't want you to want me. I need you to forget me. Yeah, I loved you. That was crazy. Because you just don't motivate me." Oh, boy. That's the worst right there. You're in love with somebody who, well, she says doesn't motivate her. You're just in love with somebody who doesn't want to take your lives to the next level here. And it must be extremely frustrating to have such strong emotions for somebody who's like just kind of just nothing's going to happen with this person, right? That's kind of the absurdity of life, is the emotions are so strong sometimes that you put blinders on and you just ignore all the red flags. So she's finally succumbing to the red flags, it sounds like. All right, verse 2. "You said that you tried your best. Why is this such a fucking mess? You're always so full of it. Yeah, why don't you just suck my dick? And when the lights go down in this fucking town," I mean, I don't like to swear, but it is what it is. "And when the lights go down in this town, I know it's time to go. And when you're getting blazed, spooning mayonnaise, yeah, I know it's time to go." Maybe her boyfriend is like a substance abuser, right? He's getting blazed. He's getting high. He's probably smoking weed and eating, like spooning mayonnaise makes me think he's getting high and getting hungry. So he probably just like sits around all day, probably has a crappy job, lives day to day, just gets high every day, doesn't just gets high and drinks probably. And he just has no motivation. He just doesn't care that much, is what it sounds like. And so, again, yeah, she's just like, her whole world is crumbling because she probably thought she met some awesome guy. And after a couple years together, maybe she's finally realized this is just like the worst relationship ever. And she has to just end it. So that's the end of that song. Okay. 1 second. Wait, which song was that? Oh, that was Your Mom. Okay. Come on, website. All right, track 9 is Oh No. Okay, verse 1 of Oh No. I went home all alone, checked my phone. Oh no. Oh my God, life is hard. Credit card, oh no. You're so woke, Diet Coke. I feel gross, oh no. I went home all alone, I checked my phone, and now I'm inside it. Ooh. Oh, I didn't highlight it. There you go. So yeah, now she's miserable. She probably finally broke up with this guy at least. But now sounds like she's probably on dating apps, desperately trying to find someone who isn't a total deadbeat. And she says, I'm inside it, right? I checked my phone and now I'm inside it. So she's just like attached to her cell phone, as we all are. But she's desperate to find some guy, probably on a dating app or whatever. She's probably older now. She's probably at an age where she really needs to start thinking about finding a guy and like getting married and having kids. She's probably freaking out. She's probably like, God, I wasted all those years with that stupid idiot guy that gets high all the time and doesn't care about anything. And now we're broken up finally, but now I got to find a real guy. She's probably freaking out. So that's what this makes me think of. Okay, verse 2. On my phone, all alone, in the zone. Oh no. Hours pass. Pizza wrap. I like that. Oh no. 3 a.m. I feel zen. Fucking zen. Oh no. Suck the life from my eyes. It feels nice. I'm scrolling. Ah! Well, you know, obviously phones are addicting, as well as social media. It must especially be very addicting as a woman. She's probably posting photos of herself all over social media and getting like all these likes and follows, right? Sexy photos, maybe even. And just that's what this makes me think of, is like being a woman who's kind of sexy and posting sexy photos and having that make her feel better about her whole life. Of like, well, my life kind of sucks right now, but at least there's obviously a lot of men out there who think I'm hot enough to like follow me and like all my photos, and they're probably fantasizing about me, right? So in other words, like there are other guys out there who would totally date me. Whereas, you know, as a guy right now, talking about myself, guys, as a guy, you know, it's not always clear that there are women out there who would totally date me. I don't know. Maybe if I went to the gym and got a six-pack and posted photos on Instagram, I get like all these follows by cute girls. And then I would know. But like for now, I have no idea. So there's that aspect of my life is not clear per se, but for her, she's maybe addicted to it, of like posting cute photos on Instagram and getting likes and follows. And she's kind of addicted to it. It's making her crappy breakup feel way better. Let's check out the bridge. If you're going to the party, I heard there's going to be some arty. People talking about themselves or whatever it is that you always talk about. Wait, what? If you're going to the party, I heard there's going to be some arty. People talking about themselves. This one's kind of weird. However, I am thinking about... So when I think of parties in general, I think of meeting new people, introducing myself to new people. And it's so, for me at least, that whole process is just so paralyzing because it's like you've got one chance to impress somebody, right? She's talking about people talking about themselves. So, like, let's say I'm at some party and I meet new people there, and they don't know who I am or what I'm about. And it's like, it's so much, I put so much pressure on myself to be interesting, right? I want them to find me interesting and hopefully like me and hopefully want to be my friend maybe and hopefully want to hang out with me, right? It's like I'm trying to market myself to all these random people who, maybe I don't even like them, but that's what she's doing on social media, right? She's marketing herself to the world, getting all these likes and follows. But in real life, the equivalent is going to some party or some bar or something, and you're talking to someone brand new, and it's like, all right, you've got one chance to impress this person. Don't screw it up. I mean, that's what it makes me think of, at least. All right, that's the end of that song. Leanne says, funny thing is, when she gets older, she will long for these days. I know, isn't that funny how life works? All right, track 10 is called Piece of Shit. Oh boy. All right, verse 1. I didn't get up till the afternoon. Our plans fell through. And now you're calling me out. Guess I should have set the alarm a little earlier, because now you call me up. All right, I'm not enough. All right, I fucked it up. All right, I'm such a slut. All right, whatever helps you sleep at night. Jeez. All right, let me think about that. Didn't get up to the afternoon. Our plans fell through. So she's being a crappy friend, right? They had plans. The alarm went off and she hit snooze and just didn't care. And she says, all right, I'm not enough. All right, I fucked it up. She's kind of just like hating herself. She's like having self-pity, right? Like, all right, I'm not good enough. I screwed up. Like, I sleep around. I'm a slut. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm not perfect. She's being put on the defensive. Her friend is calling her out. Like, why the hell did you had plans at 10 for brunch. Why did you wake up at 1 o'clock? Why did you not I was sitting at the table at 10 for like an hour and you didn't even text me back. So her life is being affected very negatively by this breakup and she can't seem to function. And so she's bailing on all these plans, which is not, I don't condone. I'm not condoning this. Just because you have a bad breakup doesn't mean you can start like neglecting your friends and plans and stuff. But anyways, it just sounds like she's on the defensive here. She's she's like, oh, fine, I'm the worst. Like, you're right, I suck. I'm the worst person in the world. And so she's trying to get pity from this person of like, no, well, you're not the worst person. Don't say that. Like, I'm just saying that, like, what happened here? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking now. Let's keep going. Verse 2. I didn't want to have this out with you, but now I have no choice. You're talking to them. Well, if you were better to me, then maybe I'd consider fucking you. Goodbye. All right. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Sorry. Sounds like she matched with some guy in a dating app and they had a date planned. And she bailed on this date. Maybe because she's scared. Maybe. She's scared of having another shitty relationship and another shitty breakup. So she bailed on this guy who she barely knows. She probably only texted this guy on the app, right? And so she's maybe freaking out after this breakup of like, she wants all the best parts of a relationship, but she also doesn't want any of the bad parts. So she was like excited that this guy liked her, and she was excited in the moment that they were talking and he was being flirty and stuff. And they had a date. They had a date set up. But then it's the day of the date, and she realizes like, this is way too much. I can't handle all this, right? And we've already addressed on another song that she is probably very anxious anyway as a person. So she's just like, she has a habit of making plans and then canceling on the day, on the day of, or during that day or whatever, or the day of. But yeah, this has happened to me where I had plans with some girl and then they just bailed on me, and I called them out, and they didn't go off on me, but they just never responded. But she's responding, I guess. Or maybe she's just talking, Or maybe she's just talking to herself. It sounds like maybe she's just talking to herself. Like, well, maybe if you were better to me, then I'd consider screwing you. Goodbye. Maybe that's just how she feels inside, but she's not really saying that to this guy specifically, maybe. She's just going through this crazy range of emotions. She doesn't know what she wants, is what it sounds like. She wants the good parts of a relationship and not the bad, but that's not how it works. Anyways, the chorus says, because you can never tell what it is I'm thinking. You say I'm mysterious because I won't let you get it in. And you can never tell where it is this is going. You say you're a genius. I say you must be joking. You're like a piece of shit. You either sink or float. So you take her for a ride on your daddy's boat. And you're not in love, but it's close enough. You say you think about me when you're fucking her. Oh boy. Well, this is weird. Now it sounds like she's in a relationship with some guy. But she's not letting him sleep with her. But also he's sleeping with someone on the side, maybe? She says you say you think about me when you're screwing her? Are they together, but he's sleeping, or maybe they're having an open relationship? I mean, that's a thing now, I guess. Maybe they're together, but this girl doesn't want this girl isn't letting her boyfriend sleep with her, but it's an open relationship and he's sleeping with some other girl. But she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm really thinking about you the whole time." This is a strange chorus. Sounds like a totally different person from the rest of the album. But it sounds like they're having all these intense dates. Like he's taking her out on his dad's yacht or whatever. But he has no intention of taking it to the next level of marrying her. Because maybe she wants marriage before sex, I guess. And he's frustrated by that, so he's getting it out, he's relieving that tension with people on the side. This is kind of a weird song. I guess this song is about an open relationship and she can't handle it, I guess. Or maybe he's dating this girl. Or maybe what's going on here is he's dating this girl and they're sleeping together. But the girl who's saying all these things in the song, the guy is having an affair with the girl who's saying all these things in the song. Right? So maybe it sounds like the girl singing this song is having an affair with possibly even a married man. And the married man is like taking her out on his boat or whatever. But if the girl is not letting him sleep with her, that's kind of weird too. I don't know what's going on here. This is a bit confusing to me. Punk said she def sounds like someone I would have wanted to meet in my 20s. Oh my god. Well, anyways, I can't think of anything else with this song. Let's go to track 11. After the greatest sound in the universe, part 2. Are you ready? Oh yeah. All right, track 11. Supermarket. Okay, verse 1. I want to take you to the supermarket. I want to buy you all the shit that you need. I like it at the supermarket, but now security keeps asking us to leave. Sounds like she's fantasizing about me being married to this guy. Sounds like maybe she's with this guy. She's with this guy who's having an affair on his wife. And she's falling in love with this guy. And she's fantasizing about being this guy's wife and buying food at the supermarket that he wants in the house. Oh, God. This poor girl is in too deep. The chorus says, we got too high, we got too high. Yeah, it sounds like she's having an affair with some married guy, and she's fantasizing about him leaving his wife and just marrying her. And it's just never going to happen. These things never happen, right? Verse 2 says, I want to take you back to meet my parents. I want to tell them about that job you do. Woohoo. I think you'll like it when you meet my parents, and I think there was a good chance of them liking you. So maybe this girl is kind of going a little nutty on this guy, right? That's kind of the classic tale. Is the guy, married man has an affair with the girl, and then the girl starts falling head over heels for him and fantasizing about being married and trying to get him to leave his wife. So she's fantasizing about introducing him to her parents and how much her parents would like him. He's probably some like big shot lawyer or something, right? Who's just like taking advantage of women like this. Oh God, this poor girl. All right, the bridge says, I want to take you to the supermarket. I want to shop it till I'm weak at the knees. And there's special offers at the supermarket. Well, the last time I was picking up, it was buy one, get one free. That's kind of random. All right, that's the end of that song. Yeah, so I think we can fairly say she's having an affair with a married man. But now she's in too deep emotionally, and she's fantasizing about them getting married to each other and her buying groceries for the family, right? She's probably like at an age now where she's so desperate to marry someone and have kids that she's falling for the classic married man affair trap. Leanne says, this girl is like the British Taylor Swift. So that's what the song makes me think of, is this girl is like super desperate. She's so desperate she's willing to just like have affairs with married men because, you know, they don't care. The kind of men who are married who have affairs, they don't care. They're just trying to live it up. All right, the last track is track 12, Too Late Now. Oh boy. All right, verse 1. If I thought that you were cool, we would have hung out more in school. But now that we've all grown up, well, all my friends have given up. That's kind of depressing. It makes me imagine her regretting her entire high school social life or college social life, right? Where She's like, she's basically realizing she hung out with all the wrong people growing up in high school and college. And now those people, she's realized that all those people are like fake people, or they're not the kind of people she wants to know really and be friends with. She's not really close to any of these people. They've all drifted away. And the time she could have spent making real, actual lifelong friends are long gone. She was mostly concerned with how cool they were, how popular they were, not like with who they actually were as a person. So she's kind of older now and just realizing she's kind of screwed up. I mean, we all kind of do this, right? We all want to be the cool kid. We all want to be popular. We all focus on the wrong things. You know, it's like those guys who only focus on how hot a girl is instead of like how interesting she is, or if they have anything in common. Verse 2 says, "No, there's nothing left to say. Yeah, I just get up and walk away. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix. Well, life's supposed to be this shit." If it ain't broke, don't try to fix. Well, life's supposed to be. That part kind of confuses me. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix. Well, life's supposed to be this shit. This one's a little tougher. I gotta think about this. I don't know what she means by if it ain't broke, don't try to fix. What do you guys think about this one? This one's really confusing to me. I don't know what she's trying to say here. I guess she's just saying like, well, I guess this is just how it is, and I'm just going to stop talking to all my friends because they're not actually my friends. They're just like bar buddies, party buddies, and we don't actually like each other, right? All the people she admired growing up that she wanted to be friends with are just like not on her wavelength at all. But she was so obsessed with being one of the cool kids that it didn't occur to her that they should also probably be on the same wavelength. If she actually wants to be their friend, like they need to be on the same wavelength, which she isn't. So maybe by if it ain't broke, don't try to fix. That's a reference to herself, is like she doesn't think she's broken. It's her friends that are broken. So she doesn't need to change herself. She just needs to find people who are like her. That's what this makes me think of. Because one way to look at it is, I got to fix myself. I'm the problem. But another way to look at it is maybe that she realizes, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I've just been hanging out with the wrong people. That's what that makes me think of. One second. Okay, the bridge. Now everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. I'm not sure if this is a song. I don't even know what I'm saying. Everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. I'm not sure if this is the kind of life that I saw myself living. I don't need no dating app to tell me if I look like crap, to tell me if I'm thin or fat, to tell me should I shave my rat. I don't need no radio, no MTV, no BBC. I just need a bubble bath to set me on a higher path. I guess she's talking about just being okay with herself, right? She was so focused. Most of her life was her focusing on what other people thought about her, instead of like, is she okay with herself, right? Which is a problem I have, or I've had in general, of like worrying too much about what other people think versus like what I think of myself. And, you know, like she's just tired of like having to change all these things about her just to get attention from certain people. And the people she's getting attention from, she realizes she doesn't even like care about them really. They're not even on the same wavelength. So like, she's like, why do I want to be thin for these people who just suck anyway? Right? She's gaining confidence in herself. She's like, you know what? I don't need to change anything. I'm not broken, I'm not broken. I don't need any fixing. I'm totally cool the way I am. And the actual cool people who are going to be my real friends like me the way I am. I don't need to be fake, and I don't need to like please all these random people on dating apps and whatever. So she's gaining confidence. That's what it sounds like. All right, we've got... Oh, I thought that was the last verse. All right, here's the chorus. I'm going to drive my car into the sea. I'm going to drive downtown while looking pretty ordinary. Too late now. Last track somehow. I'm like, oh my God, this world is pretty harrowing. Down we go while holding hands. If I F this up, I'm taking you down with me. Too late now. Last track somehow. Well, if I F this up, I'm taking you down with me. I'm going to drive my car into the sea. I'm going to drive downtown while looking pretty ordinary. Too late now. Last track somehow. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, this world is pretty harrowing. Oh my gosh. This is sad. I mean, it sounds like what she's thinking is the only way people are going to like me is if I focus on all these BS superficial things like doing my hair and makeup and looking as thin as possible. And she's thinking like, well, if that's what I have to do to get any friends or boyfriends in this world, then I'm just going to end my life because like, screw it. I'm going to just like look ordinary, not do my hair, not do my makeup, wear some stupid clothes, and just drown myself in the sea because I don't want to be a part of a world where I can't just be liked for who I am without all this superficial nonsense. That's what it sounds like to me. She wants to be able to just be herself and not have to be like all dolled up and put on a show just to have people like her. So that's very depressing. Oh my gosh. Lisa says, you don't need hair and makeup to attract people. You don't, but she feels like maybe she's felt her whole life like she had to do that to attract people, and she's sick of it. Lisa says, if you meet the right people, they will love you for who you are. Exactly. But she doesn't know that yet, I guess. Her life has sucked so much. She's never met those kinds of people. So her whole life so far has been putting on a show to attract who are basically the wrong people. So she's having a moment of crisis here. All right, the outro. Now everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. I'm not sure if this is the song. I don't even know what I'm saying. Everything is going wrong. I think I changed my mind again. I just need a bubble bath to set me on a higher path. So yeah. The song is called Too Late Now. So I guess maybe she thinks she's too old to fix her life and her social life and have new friends. She's too old now. It's too late now. Right? Her chance of doing things the right way was back in high school and college, and now she's 30 something maybe. And she feels like she screwed up her one chance of doing things right. Lisa says, some women feel they need makeup to feel better about themselves. I get it. Yeah, I mean, I guess the equivalent for a guy is going to the gym, right? Getting muscles, maybe. I don't know. But it's just, the song sounds like it's the last song in the album, and it just sounds like she's regretting all of her past decisions. She's been doing everything the wrong way. She's not been true to herself because she's been too focused on being the cool kid or whatever. But being the cool kid was attracting all the wrong people. The people she realizes she doesn't even like these people anyway. And, you know, she's had all this time in high school and college to meet the right people, but she wasted it hanging out with the wrong people. So, all right. That is Wet Legs, Wet Leg. Well, that was a lot easier than Farron. That was a way easier album to do than Farron. That was fun. I hope you guys had fun or thought it was interesting. Lisa says she probably regrets past lovers she's been with. Yeah, most likely. Right? Well, on some of the songs, her past lovers were like total deadbeats or whatever. Or they were married men having an affair with her. Stuff like that. So she's having a crisis. She's having a moment. And she's having an epiphany about how her life needs to be from now on. So anyways, yeah, that is our lyric discussion for tonight for Wet Leg. Thank you for stopping by. And again, I stream every night at 8:00 EST. Monday and Friday are my lyric discussions. And the rest of the week are music shows or like playlists I make or album listening parties of my favorite albums. So those ones are on Twitch because I can't play copyrighted music on YouTube. So my Twitch is twitch.com/themusichole. So make sure to follow me so you don't miss out on any show. Lisa says, yes, I think for me, personality is always key. Same here. Excuse me. All right, so that's it, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next stream. See ya.